we are estimating quotients. Who can remind me why we estimate? Oh, darn. Somebody was about to tell us why we estimate. What's the purpose? Sam said it's to find the answer that's close. What's another reason why we estimate? To make things what? Kaden? Easier. We all love to make things easier, right? So today we are going to use the numbers that are a little bit more exact, but we're going to change them and rewrite them to make them into numbers that we can do mental math in our head just like yesterday. How can you estimate quotients? That is our question of the day. Think about this question during the lesson. Okay, I need to turn down my volume here. But actually it's not.
Oh, there's a switch right there. Right there on your mic right there, that's where the volume is for the mic.
Yeah, that's not what I for some reason this particular lesson isn't allowing me to shut off the sound. So I apologize to those of you who are eventually going to hear this. So we have 258 total shells and we need to fit them into 6 boxes. The key word here is the word about. About, we want to know about how many, not exactly how many. So we are going to divide and separate these into equal groups. One way to divide is by rounding or changing our number to make it work better. So, oh, this is going to drive me crazy in my ear. So if I cover up this 8, I'm left with 25 divided by 6. Is 25 a multiple of 6? If I count by 6s, will I ever hit 25? No, but what will I hit that's really close? 24, yep. What's another one that's pretty close? That's right. Either of those would work. Well, we could change it to 30, and since I covered up a digit, I need to put it back in as a 0. So we know 300 divided by 6 in our heads. What is that? Just like yesterday. 300 divided by 6. Natasha? What times 6 gives you 30? 2 times 6 is not 30. Sarah? 5. But what will be in our answer over here? I covered up a 0, so I have to put it back into my answer. So my answer would be what? 50. Now what if instead of changing the 25 to a 30, I changed it to a 24? I could certainly do that. I could certainly change it to a 24. To do that, I'm going to replace that. There we go. 240 divided by 6 is what? Basic math fact, 24 divided by 6. Aaron? It's 60. Say it again? Not 60. I know. Thank you. Merry Christmas to us, I guess, right? Okay, 6 times 6 is not 24, Aaron. 4 times 6. So 40 would be our answer. There you go. So we have an overestimate of 50 and an underestimate of 40. So our exact answer is going to be somewhere between the two. Okay, I need to move on because I can't turn this volume off and it's driving me crazy. All right, so we're going to start with this problem right here. And I'm going to cover up this digit so we have a basic math fact. 44 divided by 8. Gosh, if I count by 8s, I don't think I'm ever going to hit 44. But is there a number that's close to it that would work? Darius?
48.
Sure, that would work. Since I covered up this last 4, I'm going to put it in as a 0. So now I have 480 divided by 8. Who knows that answer? Sam?
60.
It is 60. Now, what if I didn't like the number 48? Is there anything else that would have worked? Aiden?
400.
400 would have worked. because 40 is a multiple, or 8 is a multiple of 40, excuse me. Either one would have worked because actually they're the same distance either way. Let's try another one. Let's go back here. If I count by sixes, I'm never going to hit 64. Well, 6 times 9 is 54. That's not close enough. What's 6 times 10? What's 6 times 6? Excuse me. What's 6 times 11? So which one do you think we should go with? 66 is closer. So now that I covered this up, 66, I'll put in my 0. Little tricky. Dathan? Exactly. 110. You might have a couple like this today. Next one. 31 divided by 5. Oh, nope, that's not going to work. It's not a multiple of 5, but there's something close. Sam? 30. I'm going to put in my 0 that I hid. Alexis? What number times 5 gives you 30? Basic fact. 30 divided by 5. Count by 5s until you hit 30. Tell me what. 6. Put in your 0 that you hid. Now, why would 35 not be the best choice? What if I would have changed this to... It's okay, but why is this one a better choice? Why do you think, Aiden?
Because there's only one number to multiply.
No. There's one number you multiply in both of them. Why is this one a better choice? What do you think, Aaron? It is closer. We always want to try to choose the closest one because it'll give us the best estimate. How about this one? I'm going to cover up the 7. 29 divided by 3. We're going to start with 726 divided by 8. So take your finger, cover up the 6. 72 divided by 8. Is that going to work? Yeah. It is. The first problem is the easiest problem. We're going to rewrite the 72, put in a 0 in place of the 6 where I was covering up. Who can do this one in their head? Cole? Good. To check yourself, 90 times 8 should give you 720. So the first one was the easiest one. Everybody with me so far? All right, let's move on to problem number 2. I am going to cover up the 6 and the 1. 33 divided by 4. Nope, that's not going to work. But what's really close to it? Find your 4s if you don't know. What do you think, Aaron? 32. Now, how many zeros do I have to put in to make this an estimated number? 2, because I covered up the 6 and the 1. I covered up 2, so I put in 2. Divided by 4. Who knows that one in their head? Kiara? 800 is correct. We're 2 for 2. Let's move on to number 3. I'm going to cover up the 5 with my hand. 43 divided by 5. No, that's not going to work, but what will work? That's pretty close. Will? 40 would. There's something even closer, Will. 45? Yeah, 45 with 1 0 because I covered up 1 digit. 450 divided by 5 is... How do you like those stylists? They nice? Good. Oh, my class is going to be so mad that they missed out. Oh, they're going to be mad. Aaron. 90 is correct. Good work. All right. Number 4, I'm going to cover up the 7 and the 7. 63 divided by 8. Now that's not going to work, but is there something close? Sarah says, there's 8 times nothing gives you 60. You're just rounding. We're not rounding. We're trying to find a compatible number. 8, it has to be a multiple of 8. So when I count by 8s, I have to hit it. What do you think? 64. Now how many zeros do I put in? 2 of them because I covered up the 2 7s. Alexis, what would my answer be? You absolutely can look at anything you need to look at. 800, she says. Good work. What makes number 5 different than any of the problems we've done so far? Darius? That's right. But we don't do it any differently. If you guys are behind right now, it's fine. Skip down to number 5. So we know that we have to put in a dollar sign and a decimal point right away. So I'm going to cover up my last 2 digits, the 4 and the 8. $20 divided by 7. Nope, that won't work. But what's really close? That's a multiple of 7. Alan? 21. So I'm going to make this $21 divided by 7. You can use a blank page, bud. Yeah, sure, sure. That way you can just write them down just like we are, okay? Eileen? Well, you know, you're on the right track, but I don't think it's 300 because if I have $21 and I want to share it with 7 people, I'm not going to give you 300, right? No. So what did we forget that's awfully important, America? It's $3, not $300. But I see where you could make that mistake easily, right? So let's not forget dollar signs and decimals if we need to put them in. All right, last problem we're doing together is problem number 6. I'm going to cover up the last 5. 15 divided by 4. Nope, that's not going to work. But what is a multiple of 4 that's really close? Kaden? Even closer, there's something else. 16. 1 0 in place of the number I covered up. Divided by 4 equals... Sam? 40. Okay, now, I want you guys to do 7 through 10 on your own with no help from anyone. This is not an assignment. This is not a test. This is our guided practice. So if you do well on 7 through 10, you're ready to start your homework. All right, go ahead and get started.